Welcome to AI for Your Work. This is Tutorial 1 in our AI Orchestration from Zero series. Today, we're covering the big picture: what LLMs are, what AI agents are, what orchestrators are, and how they all fit together. No coding today, just the concepts you need before we start building. Let's start with the basics. A large language model, or LLM, is the technology behind tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. Modern LLMs are multimodal. They can process text, images, documents, and more. They can reason, summarize, translate, write code, and analyze information. But on their own, they can't do anything in the real world. Now, you might be thinking, wait, ChatGPT can search the web, Claude can search the web. And that's true. But that's because those products have already given their LLM tools, like web search. When you use ChatGPT with web browsing, you're actually already using an AI agent. You just didn't know it had a name. The raw LLM underneath, without those tools, is like an extremely knowledgeable consultant locked in an office. You can hand them questions, reports, even photos, and get brilliant analysis back. But they can't actually go and do anything, not until you give them tools. Here are the major LLMs as of early 2026. Claude from Anthropic. GPT 4.5 and GPT-5 from OpenAI. Gemini from Google. DeepSeek, and Llama from Meta, which you can actually run locally on your own machine. In this series, we'll use Claude through the Anthropic API, but here's the important thing. The orchestration concepts we teach apply regardless of which LLM you choose. The frameworks are model agnostic. So, what happens when you give an LLM the ability to act? You get an AI agent. An agent can use tools, browse the web, call APIs, read files, run code. It can decide which tools to use and in what order. It observes the results of its actions and decides what to do next. And it can work toward a goal over multiple steps. Think of it this way. The difference between an LLM and an agent is like the difference between a consultant who writes you a report and an employee who can actually go and do the work. Let me show you a concrete example. You ask, what is the current gold price? A raw LLM without tools will say, I don't have real-time data. But an agent with tools? Totally different story. It recognizes it needs live data, calls a gold price API, gets the current price, and responds, gold is currently $3,042 per ounce, up 1.2% from yesterday's close. The agent did something the raw LLM could not. It recognized a gap in its knowledge, chose the right tool, used it, and incorporated the result into a useful answer. This is a simple example, but it's the foundation of everything we'll build in this series. So, if an agent is one smart worker, what happens when you need a whole team? That's where an orchestrator comes in. An orchestrator coordinates multiple agents and tools into structured workflows. It decides what tasks need to be done, which agent handles each task, what information flows between them, what happens when something fails, and when the work is complete. Think of it as the project manager for your AI team. There are three fundamentally different approaches to orchestration. Understanding these three approaches and when to use each one is the most important concept in this entire series. Let's walk through each one. In the first approach, you define the workflow as a graph of steps. You write the code that determines what happens and in what order. The LLM executes within each step, It does the thinking, but the flow between steps is deterministic. You designed it. You control it. Each step is a node in the graph. Each connection is an edge. The graph determines what runs when, including conditional branches. Frameworks like LangGraph let you build these graphs in Python. This approach is best for production systems where you need predictability and control. When something goes wrong, you can trace exactly where and why. The trade-off? You have to design the workflow up front. The system only does what you planned for. In the second approach, the LLM itself decides what to do next. You give it a goal and a set of available tools, and it figures out the steps on its own. It calls a tool, observes the result, decides the next action, and repeats until the goal is achieved or until it gets stuck. This is how Claude Code works when you give it a coding task. It reads your files, decides what to change, writes the code, runs the tests, and iterates. You didn't write a graph. The LLM is making those decisions dynamically. Best for open-ended tasks where you can't predict the exact steps. The trade-off? It's less predictable, harder to audit, and the LLM might take an inefficient path. In the third approach, the LLM doesn't just use tools. It coordinates other LLM agents. A lead agent receives a complex task, decides how to break it down, assigns subtasks to specialist agents, and synthesizes their results. Each specialist works independently, possibly in parallel, with its own tools and context. This is the most powerful approach. It's also the most expensive and the most unpredictable. Every layer of LLM decision-making is a potential failure point. When an LLM decides the workflow for other LLMs, debugging becomes significantly harder. But for large, multifaceted tasks, it can be remarkably effective. Now, here's the key insight. These three approaches aren't competing alternatives. They're a spectrum, and real-world systems often combine them. A LangGraph workflow might include a node where Claude autonomously chooses which tools to call. Claude Code can spawn agent teams for complex tasks, layering the second and third approaches together. An OpenClaw agent might use deterministic workflows for its predictable sub-processes. Understanding this spectrum is what separates someone who can use AI tools from someone who can build reliable AI systems. This series takes you through all three approaches in order. We start with the fundamentals and build up to the most advanced patterns. The series is structured in 3 phases, each building on the concepts from the previous one. Phase 1 covers developer-controlled orchestration using LangGraph. This is where you learn the building blocks: state, nodes, edges, tools, and multi-agent coordination. In Tutorial 2, we'll set up a development environment and build our first agent. Tutorial 3 builds a tool-using agent that fetches live gold prices. Tutorial 4 adds memory, so the agent can track trends over time. Tutorials 5 and 6 introduce multi-agent systems and real-world API connections. And Tutorial 7 covers the security fundamentals you need when agents start interacting with the real world. Phase 2 moves to autonomous agents. Once you understand how orchestration works from the inside, you'll be ready to see what Claude Code and OpenClaw are doing under the hood, and crucially, where they can fail. Phase 3 covers the most advanced pattern: LLMs orchestrating other LLMs. Agent teams, delegation, and hybrid architectures that combine all 3 approaches. By Tutorial 11, you'll be able to design systems that use the right approach for each part of the problem. You might be wondering, if autonomous agents sound more exciting, why start with LangGraph? 3 reasons. First, state management, tool use, and graph design are concepts that apply to every approach. Learning them in a controlled environment means you'll recognize them everywhere. Second, most organizations deploying AI in production use developer-controlled orchestration because they need predictability. This is where the professional work is. And third, once you understand how to build an agent graph from scratch, autonomous agents stop being magic. You'll see exactly what they're doing and where they can go wrong. To follow along with this series, you'll need a machine running Ubuntu 24. A virtual machine works perfectly. An internet connection. And an Anthropic API key, which we'll set up together in the next tutorial. Basic comfort with the command line helps, but you don't need to be an expert. And here's the best part. No prior AI or machine learning experience is required. This series focuses on AI orchestration, the foundation. Once you have these skills, future series on this channel will show you how to apply them to specific domains: cybersecurity, content creation, investment, YouTube channel development, and more. Each of those series builds on the orchestration fundamentals you'll learn right here. In the next tutorial, we'll go from a fresh Ubuntu installation to a working AI agent in about 15 minutes. You'll install the tools, configure your API key, and build your first LangGraph agent that sends a question to Claude and prints the answer. It's hands-on from the first minute. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll see you in tutorial 2.